Welcome to In the Mood for a Movie. I'm your host, Jez, and joining me as always, Brad. B-Rad. What's up, mate?
How are you, mate?
Good. Did you see Caleb Williams signed a jersey to the Pope today?
No, I didn't.
Think Bears are going to win the Super Bowl?
No, the last time, 86 Bears? Is that the last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't win another Super Bowl for a while, I don't think.
I like Caleb. Cop's a lot of crap, but I reckon he's good.
You just like him because he's on your fantasy team. That's why you like him. That's the interest.
He was good in that playoff game where he threw that, he throws touchdowns off his back feet. A lot of miracle balls, but I think it's good.
That's true.
Not a great week or weekend for the Aussies, the soccer and rugby, but bloody shootouts.
It wasn't a great week at all for sports, I think. Aussie penalty shootout. Oh my God, that was just so horrendously bad. Why are we subbing in Matt Ryan? I don't understand.
Yeah, that was backfired. And also, why were all our defenders taking kicks?
Yeah, I don't know. And you're asking the youngest guy in the team to take a penalty kick. I mean, the guy's got cojones to step up and do it, but like your point, where are your strikers? Where's your attacking midfielders and stuff? Why aren't they having a shot? So
yeah.
That sucks. Wallabies.
We were doomed as soon as we subbed the goalie. I was like, but that was like England as well. When England yesterday, as soon as they subbed Harry Kane, I was like, these Mexicans are going to score with like a minute to go, and then it's going to go to penalties, and they're going to be like, where the hell's Harry Kane?
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the scores today as well?
Yeah. World is now right with the USA out.
Yeah, I know. The Belgian golden generation. What the last dance? They've got the last chance to do it. So
I've got Colombia in another tipping comp as well. So hoping for a good result from Colombia tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Who do you want to win the World Cup?
Probably Argentina, man. Just because of Messi, I think he's the GOAT. I think he's the GOAT.
Jen was at a party the other day, like a kid's party, and I had the youngest with me, and we're at the pub, and Messi gets subbed on. I'm like, oh, watch this. She's 3. She didn't really care too much. And then they had the free kick, and I was like, watch this. He scored. And she's like, Messi scored. I was like, yeah, Messi scored. I was like, remember where you were. Tell your grandkids about this. And like, didn't really care. And then on the weekend, all 3 of us are watching. So the eldest, youngest and I, Messi's there again. I'm like, there's Messi, just pointing at him the whole time. He then scores a goal. I was like, tell your kids. And like, at least the eldest was a bit more like, oh yeah, I'll tell them, Dad. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think you're witnessing glory. Something special. I mean, if he wins 2 in a row, that's pretty special, I think. So
I do love Ronaldo, but I've decided like Messi's kind of a better, I think the history will be kinder to Messi.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously the Champions Leagues for Ronaldo is quite significant, but I think looking back, you get that World Cup under your belt too, like that. Ronaldo doesn't have that.
No. Anyway, before we get in today, or should I let everyone know, this is a movie podcast where we have conversations about film. This week we're doing the 2014 Walk Among the Tombstones, which I had not seen. Before we get into it, spoilers, so there will be spoilers. You have been warned. Brad, give us a plot summary, please.
Matt Scudder, a burnt-out ex-cop turned unlicensed PI, hunts 2 sadistic kidnappers who target the families of drug dealers. What starts as a ransom job turns into a grim, methodical chase through New York's underbelly, where sobriety, justice, and survival all get tested.
I hated the name Matt. The first viewing, I was just like...
Matt Scudder? You didn't like Matt?
I just didn't like Matt. When everyone called him Matt, I was just like looking at Liam Neeson. I'm like, you're not a Matt.
Scudder's a cool name, though.
Yeah, Scudder was good. I came to the second time around. So 2014, as I mentioned, so we've already done 2014 on the Equalizer podcast. So in terms of what events or what happened that year, but I thought I'd name a couple of others, which we left out, which people might care about, might not, who cares? So Sydney Siege at the Link Cafe in Martin Place, that was pretty hectic. Facebook buys WhatsApp. U2's free album on iTunes. I think they had one good song, but remember that backlash? Do you remember that when you got their album?
I remember that. I opened up my iTunes and all of a sudden I got these YouTube songs. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I did not order this.
Yeah. Sony Pictures hacked by North Korea over the Interview movie. Have you seen it, Brad? The Interview?
I haven't. No, I need to see that.
We'll put that on the list. I don't mind. It's quite good. First season of True Detective and Fargo, both pretty stellar shows.
Awesome shows. I love them both. Both season ones are fantastic.
Michael Sam, first publicly gay man drafted into the NFL.
From the Rams in the 7th round, I think it was. Yeah.
I think it was it Rams? Yeah, it was the Raptors. I don't know. And then John Travolta butchers Idina Menzel's name at the Oscars, which I might have just butchered, but I actually watched it. It's hilarious. He calls her the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. Again, her name's Idina Menzel. So, yep. Brad, miss anything? I know you wanted to name some things that we probably shouldn't pass over.
Do you remember Sydney lockout laws? I think they sort of came into effect around then as well.
The one punch.
Yeah, the one punch. Go on. Speaking of go on, MH370 still missing. Still missing. It wasn't actually. It was a bad year for Malaysian Airlines. They lost MH17 as well. That got shut down over Ukraine. Remember that?
Didn't they just? Wasn't there something they found it the other day? No.
Which one?
MH, the one that's still missing, but maybe they didn't. I saw an article, but I thought there'd be a bit more headlines about it, so maybe they didn't.
Like an episode of Lost or something.
Yeah.
But no, that's pretty much it. We covered quite a lot of it in the in the previous pod and stuff too. But yeah, it was a, looking back, it was a pretty defining year, I think.
Some movies we didn't cover, but I don't know about some of these. I think one of them I really want to see the first one, but I'm not sure about the rest. So Under the Skin, Snowpiercer, What We Do in Our Shadows, The Theory of Everything, The Imitation Game. What was do you remember what your favorite movie of 2014 was? I probably should have asked you this.
I still think it's Nightcrawler. Birdman was very good too. Gone Girl was good. Interstellar was good. John Wick I haven't seen. Equalizer I obviously have seen now. That is quite good, but I still think it's Nightcrawler. I really enjoy that movie. That sings to me, that one. How about you?
Jeez, I think it'd have to be between Birdman and Interstellar. I think Birdman in the year was it, but probably because I didn't see Interstellar to the year after. But Interstellar, I think long term,
yeah, it still holds up. Yeah,
I think may have the legacy going forward.
Yeah, but Birdman, you're right. It's something different, eh? Like something that doesn't come along. Yeah, it doesn't come along so often. It was really good.
Edward Norton's sick in the Birdman. He's so great.
Yeah, he is good, and obviously the Keats is great too. Love the Keats.
So, getting into the film, Walk Among the Tombstones. So, I hadn't seen this, as I mentioned at the open. So, enjoyable noir crime detective thriller movie, I thought. What I liked about it, really enjoyed the rain slick streets and the dimming lights, kind of, I don't want to call it comic book, but just that dark and eerie sort of setting. That sense of like the decaying world or in corruption, which are always in noir movies. And this time it was the Y2K, which we'll get into. I also really enjoy like about these type of movies, how like the cities are like a part of the movie. In this as well, I felt like telecommunication or the phones, the pay phones were a big part of the movie. And then, like always, you damage sort of detectives, like in Seven and even Silence of the Lambs to some extent, with their own demons or past failures, which they're trying to reconcile with, or, in this movie, his AA meetings, stuff like that he's going to, trying to turn his life around or make up for wrongdoings. Some of my favorite noir movies, Brad. So, Seven, as I mentioned earlier, Prisoners, Silence of the Lambs, Memento, Zodiac. What do you love about noir movies?
I like the feeling I get. It's like you sort of mentioned, like that. It sort of sets the tone. Like you've got that dark, sort of slick, like rain, rain-soaked sort of background. I really do like it. I love a crime thriller. You mentioned Silence of the Lambs. I think I'd love to hear what you think. I think Silence of the Lambs is probably my favorite sort of crime movie. I think slightly over Seven. But yeah, it's just such a good movie. I'll hear what you've got to say about that, and then I'll go into what I like about this one specifically. But what's your favorite sort of crime movie?
Yeah, look, it would be I think you kind of nailed it down to Silence of the Lambs or Seven. In these type of movies, I really enjoy. Would you call Untouchables a noir movie?
Mm, I'd have to watch it again. It's been such a long time since I've seen it. So, actually, a good one for you, Copland.
Oh
Would you?
yeah, it's great. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
I love
Copland.
like just that music in the background all the time and everything. Like, it just really sets the it just sets the tone. I love it.
Yeah. Well, we might be talking about Copland a bit later on with in terms of potential hearing loss of one of the characters. Um, so thoughts on this movie? Really good amount of suspense. Elements of like, as I mentioned, kind of comic book or superhero-y, but I'm going to just go that down to the noir genre. Um, Matt doesn't really get hurt. He wears a cape, so to speak, in the end. You don't really know anything about his personal life, which I potentially have a gripe with. I really did think Liam was great in the movie, like kind of just a brooding, damaged detective role. I enjoyed 90s New York, kind of cool to look back or kind of feel in that era. And the dark nights and rains were effective. The mystery was compelling enough and kind of kept you engaged or kept me engaged. I loved, which I talked about earlier, like the phone calls and then the negotiations, but how the phones or pay phones and just home phones were a prop or a really good character in the movie. The psycho killers, like stalking their prey, I didn't mind that they let you know kind of who the killers were. At the start, it wasn't some big mystery, um, and like no need for a big reveal. What are your thoughts? I'll tell you some of my gripes in a little bit, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it there. I didn't even think about the whole Matt Scudder sort of backstory in terms of like his own personal life. Like, and now you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I kind of do want to know a little bit more about that. But I think I love this movie because I think I'm all in from the start. Like, it's got that initial sort of shootout scene, which is like the backstory to Scudder. Then he's in the diner doing his thing. He gets approached, and then he's at Kenny's house, and he's explaining to him that, hey, my wife got kidnapped yesterday. I've already paid the ransom, and she's dead. And you're like, holy crap! Like, everything's already happened straight away, and
Yeah.
now you're tracking down those responsible, and I really enjoy that. Like, yeah, I think that was very cool. I also really like how that DEA agent Marie that got killed, she was one of the victims of the kidnappers. Her files on the drug traffickers with the blueprint for them for their schemes, like to find these targets and stuff. So it's really just a couple of maybe nuts or psychos that stumble upon these files and they can keep on with their crimes and stuff. So yeah, it was very cool. I haven't really known a story like that before, so I really did like it.
Yeah, so she was surveillancing those people, and that's how they worked out they knew where those
Yeah,
people lived.
yeah. And then so I think she was the first victim, fortuitously or unfortuitously,
Yep.
that got found by these guys, and they just happened to steal her DEA files, and that's how they knew which ones are the drug killers and who to target and who had money and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and talking about like his family, going back to that point, like he does mention, I can't remember who to, I think it's to Kenny, that he was like, oh, I was corrupt because it wasn't making enough to pay my family or whatever. But then there is no family. He's just a bit of a loner, and he lives by himself. Like TJ or whatever goes over to his house a couple of times, but just yeah, it's just like all right. So I guess going into the bad, I thought it was also like an underutilized supporting cast. Wasn't really invested in anybody else in the movie apart from Matt. TJ to some extent, but maybe that's because he was a kid. But I didn't really care about the brothers. I didn't really care about the killers. Like, oh, I sort of cared. I was intrigued and I had a lot of questions about the killers and kind of, their motivations and why and things like that. But, I felt like the story could have involved a couple more characters. Pacing was a little bit slow at times, maybe more so in the middle. Um, I guess the main thing for me was the movie desperately needed a female, like just somewhere. I know there was like kind of flashbacks to ladies being murdered or kidnapped, but it's just like, can we get someone to be on screen or have like 8 lines of dialogue? Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, you're so right. I thought that too. Like, it desperately needed like some, female, whether it's like a heroine or a agitator or anything like that. You definitely needed, someone in there to fill that void. Um,
Like one of the female characters is a half naked painted lady.
yeah, I mean,
It's
and you,
like they keep referring back to her and it flashes to the half naked lady. And it's
yeah,
just like, is this a real person? Who are they paying? Like, who is this?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's so funny. Like every time they do the flashback or whatever of that wife, the drug dealer, Kenny's wife, I think it is. Yeah, it's always a flashback to the painting.
Yeah.
It's not to her walking when she's getting kidnapped, or you're seeing her like walking around the streets and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's a really good point.
Did,
Obviously, I got some airing of grievances on it, which I'll get into later.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I did enjoy it.
Did you feel like the drug dealers seemed a bit like dickless? I don't know. Like, it's kind of like, can't you guys solve this yourselves? I was like, if you think of all the other drug dealing movies or gangster movies, I don't know if these guys are gangsters, but let's call them drug dealers. But maybe they're a different type of drug dealer because they call themselves traffickers or whatever it was. But like, where's the fixer? Where's the wolf?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And I got something on that later. But
Okay.
yeah, 100% right. I mean, like, yeah, he's got like one person who's his druggy brother, like,
Yeah.
defending
Sorry,
his empire. So,
maybe that should have been airing a grievance, but I don't know. And like, uh, was Matt doing this because one of the, like, I guess I'll get into this a little bit more, but I think I'm answering my own question here. Matt's doing this because one of the like AAs is to like make amends or make up for your wrongs. So, because I didn't really get his motivation. Like, I can understand maybe trying to get the daughter back when you get pulled into that kind of situation,
hmm.
but he kind of half solves the problem but gives the money back. I'm like, what's your like, what's going on?
Yeah, I did get that because he's done, the job that he's paid to
Yeah,
do.
he got
Yeah.
beaten up.
And like, he's got no other source of income. So, I mean, 20 grand. I mean, you and I, rip someone's hand off taking that, but surely you could use that, to support, his lifestyle or his rent or whatever he's got to do for the next few months until he finds another gig. So, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I guess on a lighter mood, what did you think of the half naked painting of the wife?
Yeah, not bad. I don't know if your mates
What
come over if they
piece
start
of
staring at the picture a bit. So yeah,
in
you'd be like,
the
oh, okay,
in the hallway in the front entrance?
yeah, might as well. Go over there.
Have you been to anyone's house before where they've had any risky pictures or anything like that up?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, I have. I one of Dad's mates has in his shed. He had a photo of they're all naked at the ski fields, but like it's in his shed, so that was fine. Y2K Brad loved Y2K as a character.
Yeah, I love Y2K. It's so funny. It was such a big thing. I remember it was such a huge thing and everyone's panicking and scared. And I'm reading all these stories about people like, bunkering up and buying supplies and guns and stuff like that. Thinking it's going
Selling
to be
all their
something.
stuff.
Yeah. And it's just like, and then, the year kicked over and nothing really happened. Like it was like, yeah, it wasn't as big as what I thought I think they overreacted, I think. So, yeah.
Our brother-in-law reckons he's got a bunker.
Does he?
Yeah. I'm like, where? He goes, I can't tell you. I go, well, you've obviously got room for me. He's like, yeah, I do. I was like, okay, well, you got to be able to tell me. What happens if all the blinds are down? I was like, drive me out there. He definitely doesn't.
Oh
But
my God.
look, if he does,
if he ever comes on this pod, we are asking him about it. We're asking for the
yeah.
location.
Well, he
Yeah.
is coming on, so make sure you remember that part. I remember like it being a big deal, like ish, like everyone always talking about it, but I also just remembering watching End of Days over and over again.
Yeah,
In
good movie.
1999, that was my thing. We get the guys who pirate the CDs for us at school. Just go home. I think I had like End of Days, Family Man, and something else, and I just watched those movies so much.
Yeah, Family Man, good movie.
So the cast: Liam Neeson, Matt Scruder, 62 years young in this film. So nominated Liam for an Oscar for Schindler's List in 1994. Brad, I'm quickly going to redo that Oscars with you now. So the nominees in 1994: Daniel Day-Lewis in The Name of the Father, Lawrence Fishburne for What's Love Got to Do with It, Anthony Hopkins for The Remains of the Day, Liam Neeson for Schindler's List, and the winner, Tom Hanks for Philadelphia. Looking back, who wins?
Yeah, I'll probably have to go Liam Neeson for Schindler's List, I think. If it's an Oscars redo, I'm going Liam Neeson for Schindler's List.
You don't want Hanksy 2 years in a row. See, it's a tough one. And
Philadelphia's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I think I still give it to Philadelphia, but this is just, can we tie? We could do a tie. There was a tie this year, wasn't there?
Yeah, Oscars tie. Could be a controversy.
Yeah, why don't we do a tie?
Let's do a tie.
This is why the Oscars, I want to see the votes. Because I want to see who voted for what. Who says no to that?
That'd be good. I mean, you don't even have to tell me which person specifically voted.
Tell me who voted.
Like 100 votes for this person and 99 votes for this person. Yeah,
but be good. It's like in the basketball where like Joker was clearly the MVP and he had like every single MVP vote bar one, and one person voted for someone random. I'm like, then I want to know who. I was like, who voted for that person? Like,
hey, Joker should get it every year. He's that good. He's that good.
So, back to Liam. Sorry, everyone, sidetracked. So, the man was working overtime in 2014. I think this is just untouchable, really, after Taken for those 6 to 10 years. So, he was in over 14 movies or shows, including Non-Stop, A Walk Among the Tombstones, Taken 3, A Million Ways to Die in the West, The Lego Movie, The Nut Job, a couple of episodes of Family Guy, Rev, which is another TV show, Wild Japan, Snow Monkeys, I think narrator, Lego Batman 3, Beyond Gotham, which I believe is a computer game. But very, very busy man. What are your thoughts on him in this movie?
Yeah, I quite like him. It's funny, I had a question for you, but I'll save it for a little bit. But yeah, I really enjoyed him. I thought he played the character well. I've got a couple. You know what? I'm just going to start asking you a couple of questions. Do you prefer bearded Liam Neeson or non-bearded Liam Neeson?
I've never thought about it, but non-bearded, probably non-bearded.
Probably non-bearded? Yeah. And then I've got another question for you. So we talked about James Earl Jones versus Morgan Freeman. How about Liam Neeson? Where do you rank him in terms of voices?
I didn't want to bring this up, but I think you're thinking what I'm thinking, B1. Is he the James Earl Jones and Morgan Freeman white man?
Yeah, I actually, I was watching this movie, and obviously because we just done Unforgiven. He asked me that question about James Earl Jones and Morgan Freeman, and the first 10 minutes I'm watching this movie, I'm like, you know what? I think I prefer Neeson's voice over both of them.
So have you ever seen he did a Rugby World Cup promo for Ireland, like for Ireland to be the host nation? This would have been 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
It is the best. Listen to it because he just narrates it, and like you're just fired up afterwards. You're like, "Let's go,
let's go!" Booking the tickets,
the pride of Ireland. But yeah, it must have been because we were talking about James Earl Jones. But I thought the same thing. The whole movie, I was like, does he just have the best voice for a white? Like, see the white guy, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, he's just it's funny because I think he can just be naturally badass just by the way he talks, but he can also be like super friendly with the way he talks too. Like he can change tone, like I reckon pretty well. So yeah.
Have you seen Life's Too Short, the Ricky Gervais TV show with Warren? What's the guy from Willow? No, the guy from Willow. Steve Merchant's in
Warwick Dunn. What's his name?
Warwick, whatever his name is. But it's about him, so Life's Too Short. Okay. But Ricky and Steve Merchant are his mates, so he's always visiting them.
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson comes in to pitch a show to Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant, and it's a comedy. And he's like, he's a grocer or something. And he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my wife's got cancer. And they're like, that's not really that funny, Liam. He's like, why not? And he's like, cancer, you can't really joke about cancer. And it's just 5 minutes of just comedy gold. Yeah. I'll send it to you after this, but it's the best. But I've asked you for a action thriller wild card. We're taking out Schindler's List because we both would have had that in. So a
Mm.
Liam Nielsen action thriller wild card, Brad. What is it?
So I had Taken, Unknown, and then for my wild card, because I'm going really wild with this one, I've got him in Batman as Ra's al Ghul. I really enjoy that performance. So yeah, that's what I had.
Oh gosh, Brad. Gosh damn it. I had taken Batman Begins, Phantom Menace. Shout out to Lego Movie.
Lego Movie. Shout out to Ballad of Buster Scruggs as well.
Yeah, he's
He's good
great
in
in
that.
that as
He's
well. I
great.
didn't think he
Yeah.
was in it long enough, but he's great.
No, I know he's in it for like one of the
It's
5
such
stories.
a creepy sort of story, that whole thing. The poor
That's
guy
so
just
good.
gets thrown out for a chicken or something, doesn't he?
Thrown into the lake or river. Yeah, yeah. It's good.
I actually really like that movie. I don't know if a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people
good.
do, but I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Dan Stevens, so playing Kenny Christo. So I remember him from Beauty and the Beast. Well, I don't remember him from it, but the live action Beauty and the Beast. Did you see that, Brad? I saw that at the State Theatre in the city, actually,
Uh,
randomly. Jen
no,
took me.
I didn't see the live action one of that. Any good? Must see theater.
Emma Watson, Hermione, plays Belle. It's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah,
It's not
oh
bad.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind some of the Disney live actions. They're not too bad. Aladdin is awesome. Have you seen Aladdin?
No, just the movie. I haven't
Guy
seen.
Guy Ritchie directs it. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I've only really seen what's his face? I've seen heaps of Gilbert Sullivan do. What's the other guy? The guy that does Cats and Phantom of the Opera and everything. That guy.
Tim Burton.
No.
Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yeah, I've seen lots of his stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Dan or Kenny?
Yeah, pretty good. I think this is sort of at the start of his career. He hadn't really done much until this, and then his sort of career takes off quite rapidly after this. But, um, for a gangster, he seems very like soft and businessy and sort of young and yeah. But yeah, he was good. I mean, it was fine in this. I think they probably could have, it depends which way they want to go with, like which way they want to go with this, but they could have done, someone a bit more gangstery, a bit more harder and things like that, or maybe a bit more older. But yeah, I mean, I thought he, like, I think the emotion I was getting from him, like the anger that he was feeling about his wife being killed and him losing money, I wasn't really getting that from him, like, if I'm being quite honest. So, but yeah, I'm keen to hear what you think.
Yeah, it sounded just like that the murderers stuffed up his retirement plan with his wife. He
Yeah.
had a lot of plans, and now he doesn't because he didn't pay the ransom because he was holding on to that money so then they could get out of the game or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. But I understand what you're saying about like the youngness because I was thinking it was like, oh yeah, it's weird. Like drug dealers don't really have young girlfriends, do they? Not. So I was like, oh, okay, like this could have been, yeah. Who's the wrestler? Like someone like that.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, someone like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, that would have been
Something
good.
like that. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, he's great in Man on Fire. But I did feel like him and Liam bounced off each other pretty well. And like when he turned up at Liam's house, to kind of tell him that he really wants him working the case or whatever, I thought he was pretty good.
Is 20K or potentially 40K the going rate? Do you reckon?
Well, I had that for you later on. Yeah, I don't know. Well, how much
Could've
was
upped it
he?
a
How much
bit.
did he give him? 40 grand, 400K.
400K, and he tells
10%, man.
he tells him later on that he could have paid the whole meal, so he's got another 600 grand lying around, and all he's going to give you is 40K. I'm like,
yeah, I know. Well, look, the only problem is I don't know what the growing rate is for certain things.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
So, Dave Harbour, good to see him. I friggin' loved him in this. Ray. So, I got some very big Buffalo Bill vibes. I don't know if he was basing his character off that, but all I could think was Buffalo Bill. I thought he was terrific in this. Really creepy. I did enjoy that he could though hold a conversation with Liam as well at the same time. But his smile was just so frightening. He just has a very good face. Like he's normally a pretty happy guy in movies. You don't really see this side of him, but he has a very good like psycho killer face. He's also just big, I feel, like, which just gives him presence as well. Like, I had a lot of questions about his relationship with his boyfriend, which we may get into later, but yeah, as I said, terrific. Brad, what'd you think?
Loved him in this. I thought he was fantastic. Echoing everything that you said, like just super creepy. You know, played it well. I was going to ask you, so are they boyfriends? Is that it? They're actual lovers, or are they just mates?
Well, we didn't get like a wake up bedroom scene, but I believe they're boyfriends.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Like you said,
But sorry, just to interrupt on that, they did it was very 1990s how they talked about boyfriends and girlfriends. We've come a long way.
yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't really want to acknowledge it, but I believe they were boyfriends. But sorry,
Okay.
continue.
No, that's cool. Yeah, like you said, he's got real presence. I know he was in um oh, well, what did we do recently? The Equalizer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's much better in this than the Equalizer. Like this is more his kind of role. Not to typecast him like an Anthony Hopkins where like he plays like a villainous person kind of well, but I think he plays creepy better than he does sort of normal, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Look, he's in a couple of other things as well where he's normal and he's fine, but I definitely agree he could very easily be typecast as a serial killer
Yeah.
over and over again. Boyd Holbrook or Peter Christo in this movie, so Kenny's brother. What do you think of him, Brad?
Yeah, he was fine. You know, playing as, drug addict or former junkie, kind of brotherly kind of role. But yeah, I mean, he was fine. It didn't really seem too much in it compared to the other ones. Like he's sort of in it at the start and then he's in it at that sort of final showdown kind of thing. And just a little bit before that, but sort of the middle, like the meat part of the movie. I don't really see him in it, but, yeah, I mean, he was okay. I don't really have too many gripes about it. Maybe it could have been his sister, to your point. Maybe could have been, they could have swapped him out with his sister and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was all right.
Yeah. Look, again, I thought he was fine as well. I thought his best scene was the apartment where he's about to have a hit and then he kind of has that little
Yeah.
sort of breakdown or has a kind of show some emotion to Liam. But like when he dies, I didn't really think too much. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Like you said
Next.
you said at the start, like you're not really invested in the other characters. You really only
Yeah.
sort of invested in Matt Scott or Liam Neeson. So
The person who I was most invested in was the daughter and like her kind of getting out of
getting her
there.
back.
Yeah, like that was my most. I also, well, you'll find out later. I love Yuri. Yuri's the best.
Yeah.
I freaking love. Any other people you want to talk about though, Brad?
No, I think it's sort of based on those sort of four. Obviously, you've got the second killer too, but he doesn't really talk
doesn't
much
say
in the
anything.
movie. You know what I mean? He says like one or two lines there at the end, but you can sort of, it could have been me playing that. Like it wouldn't have mattered that much. I don't think so.
Yeah, TJ was fine as well, but like again, they're all fine. Everyone was fine.
Hmm.
So, funny and weird things that we found while researching. Filmed in Brooklyn. I thought that the stairs at the start were the same stairs as the Joker, but they're not. Apparently, according to Google, they're not, but they're both filmed in Brooklyn. So I'm like, are we sure they're not the same stairs?
I thought they were the same stairs. I thought they were.
So the script was written by Scott Frank, who also did The Queen's Gambit and Logan. I actually really like Logan. Spent over a decade in development. So the original director at one point had Harrison Ford cast, but then it sort of came and went. So this is a big one, and I guess goes to my part or point on this movie desperately needed a woman character. So Ruth Wilson was in this movie, but they cut her character. So when they went to editing, they just deleted all of her scenes. I actually read the script or a little bit of the script today when I was trying to work out some of the quotes, and it's funny, like seeing kind of him answering to her or she's asking him questions in some of the scenes. And there's also a scene in the movie where he's on the phone to his kid, and his kid's asking him sort of similar questions to like TJ in the hospital, and maybe TJ gets rewritten for the kid. I'm not sure, but he's asking him like, "Have you killed people?" And then the kid also mentions talking about the AA steps and making amends, which sort of then answers my question at the start of like, what's Matt's doing this, or why is Matt, staying around? What's his motivation after doing his job or whatever? Um, so I thought that was very interesting that there was sort of a backstory for the family, but they wanted him more to be like an isolated loner in this movie, which potential. Well, I don't think you probably. Well, you see, this is where I'm going. Where I say you need more female characters, but maybe you don't need the female character. But like having the father or the son chat on the phone could be fine. But then what happens to TJ? So I can understand the cuttings of certain things. It's just, it's interesting to me that these things were in the movie and then cut. Did you find anything? And I guess what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's weird. It's funny you mentioned like, the cutting of things, because I found the movie sometimes we'll get into it a bit later too, but there's like parts that didn't really make sense to me, or things I thought, that's weird. Like maybe there's something missing from that, or it's just part of the story I think that's missing. But, yeah, I mean, there wasn't too many weird things. I think you've sort of covered off most of it, but, keen to have a chat about the, Scott Frank, and also keen to have a chat about, RV Kaufman, part of my English. So, did you want me to jump into any of them now?
Yeah.
All right, so Scott Frank, so he's really only done 2 movies as a director. He did The Lookout in 2007, and he did Walk Amongst the Tombstones in 2014. But can I interest you in Scott Frank as a screenwriter? So you've got Get Shorty, you've also got Minority Report, Flight of the Phoenix, The Interpreter, Marley and Me, Wolverine, and Logan. So he has done some pretty decent movies, TV shows too. How about this? The Wonder Years. Remember that? The Wonder Years. Shameless, The Queen's Gambit. So yeah, he's done more sort of writing and screenplay than he has sort of done directing before. So it's funny he's really only had 2 shots at directing, which has been The Lookout and Walk Amongst the Tombstones.
Yeah, you can interest me in a lot of those movies apart from Marley and Me.
I haven't seen it. I know it's a bit of a heartbreaker. I don't.
It's shit.
It's shit.
Next.
I don't want to watch it because it's a heartbreaker. Okay,
Nah,
so it's no good. Okay, all
right. What was your next question or next person?
Avi Kaufman. She was the she did the casting for this movie. So I'll interest you in her career. She did The Sixth Sense, Blow, Brokeback Mountain, The Bourne Ultimatum, American Gangster, Scream 4, The Ledge, Prometheus, great movie, Life of Pi, and then Walk Amongst the Tombstones, among other things. So pretty good caster, I think.
Yeah, really good, actually. That's some great casting. Yeah, great one, Brad. Thanks for sharing. He saluted. Box office, Brad, run us through the numbers.
Box office. So budget 28 million, worldwide gross 62 million. So, pretty modest performer. Some might say potentially later on a cult favorite. Was going to point out that we've yet to do a flop on this pod. So yeah, made a bit of money.
So I was reading that it had already made a profit, because of how obsessed everybody was with Liam Neeson thrillers and buying the rights, that the movie actually turned a profit from pre-sales before a single frame was ever shot.
Wow, really? That's awesome. I mean, that's why you sign up Liam Neeson to do that then.
Yeah, I know. The guy was printing money, maybe still is. Oscars and awards, Brads. I know we spoke about Liam Neeson in Schindler's List, but any thoughts on Oscar noms or anything like that for this movie?
Maybe best writing, adaptation of the screenplay, maybe. But I mean, the ones that are on there already are pretty darn good. So can't really think of anything. But maybe if they had, casting as an award, that could have been on there. But no, I didn't really have anything. Like Neeson's fine, but I don't think he's cracking, to to the best actor in a leading role.
Yeah.
Maybe best supporting actor
Just
for for
just want to
David
double
Harbour.
check. I thought you didn't like half the cast.
I I only like two.
So why are you giving the casting director any
You
awards?
know what? That's a good call out. Maybe I'm looking at maybe I'm looking
Okay,
at
yeah, you've just
Computer.
been sucking off the casting director for the
I
last
am.
4 minutes,
I
and
am.
okay.
Maybe I'm more impressed with the resume than I am with this. That's good. You know what? Like half of these guys aren't in the movie they're that long. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a Liam Neeson movie. I don't know if there's anyone else. Made Bruce Campbell very difficult, but we'll get to that when we get to Bruce Campbell.
Extremely
All right.
difficult.
Favorite scenes, Brad. So I know I said let's cut it to 10, but you'll see that I didn't quite cut it to 10. So opening flashback 1991. I love going from telling someone fuck you in a car straight to coffee and 2 shots in the back page. This is living in my book. Love the long shot before the guys come in to rob the store, kind of Liam, sort of over the shoulder of what's happening, kind of in the background with him and his drinks. Um, and then the shootout is really great, which you're sort of getting into. As I mentioned, I wasn't sure if there's the same stairs as Joker, but it apparently isn't. But I think it was a very good introduction, just straight into the action. I love a movie when it just starts, but any thoughts on the opening scene?
Yeah, it was awesome. I like a good shootout at the start of the movie. I love it when the guy shoots him and he shoots the bullet through his coat and there's like a hole in his coat. I thought that was so sick. But also I thought the sound in this scene was so good. I mean, you can hear the bullet, like the shot, like from the gun. You can hear the recoil of the pistol. You can hear the casings like hitting the ground. Like this scene was just so good, and pretty brutal. Like he shoots the guy, and the guy like flips over the little handrail and everything on the stairs. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
it was pretty sick. Just after he had a couple of shots to get him in the mood too. So yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, he's terrible with the beard in this when you were asking that beard question before. The opening scene, the beard's terrible. So this isn't really a scene, but I thought I just mentioned the credits, realizing like the lady is tied up is pretty hectic.
Yeah, confronting.
So present day 1999 meets Pete at the diner. Shout out to diners as well. I freaking love diners in movies. So
we need more diners in Australia, I reckon.
yeah, I know. I like how the camera for most of the scene is just sat on them sitting at the diner, and they're just side on side, sort of sizing each other up, but just great stuff to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. And like, he sort of goes like, "Oh, hey Matt, how are you?" And it's like, "It's me from AA." And you can tell like he doesn't recognize him and things like that. And then the guy like sits down, but then when he gets up, because he's like interrupting his meal, he's like waiting outside, like right at the window. Like the camera doesn't have to change. Like, it was very clever. I thought it was good.
I was so like how he's like, "Can I smoke?" He's like, "Yeah, no worries." And then the lady's like, "No smoking."
And he goes to the waitress like, "Oh, keep this warm for when we back." It's like, how, I mean, surely like you're either going to eat a meal real quickly.
Yeah.
You're not going to come back 2 hours later and eat cold food. Like there's no way.
And it wasn't like a gourmet meal. I was like, "Matt, probably cost you like $6. Like,
Yeah.
just buy another one." Righto, Matt meets Kenny. I do enjoy the scene, but we did talk about the portrait of the wife already and also the money. Any thoughts on this scene?
This goes into the flashbacks of him recalling the story, or is that?
Yeah, actually, I'm going into Kenny waiting at Scrooge's house.
Okay, all right, sweet. Well, I'll go into that then. I love the wife rescue scenes. Like he wakes up on the couch. I don't know if he's drugged or whatever. And the wife's missing. He's trying to work out where she is. Then
How did he not know though she wasn't home? Because he was in like he was having a nap.
I don't know. Someone, it must be nice having a daytime nap. The life of a drug dealer. But yeah, and then he's going through that. Although all his flashbacks are great, like he's going through it all. He's got like 400K. I gave him my top offer, and the guys agree on the deal. He drives in the car. It's raining, to your point, like that all like noir sort of scene. He leaves the money, comes back. The wife's not there. The money's gone. Then he's getting the runaround. He's getting cranky. He smashes the mirror and stuff. And then finally he gets led to the abandoned car and he opens up the boot and there's like cocaine packages, which are full of body parts of like the wife, and he like cuts one open, the blood goes everywhere.
Yeah,
Man,
it's so
awesome.
brutal.
Awesome.
That's so brutal.
Yeah.
I love it when he's on the phone to them. Of course I want it back.
Oh, how about the proof of life?
No, that's later on. He doesn't get a proof of life.
Well, he asks for a proof of life, and she goes like, she's got a cute mole on her left breast. He's like, oh, okay, that's the proof of life. I'll take it.
Harbour is awesome in this, and I think it's just so clever how you just have Harbour. They just show his lips sort of moving on the phone. They don't show his face, but yeah. The drug bags of the wife is just hectic. Would you listen to the recording that he leaves?
Oh, I think you'd have to, wouldn't you? Curiosity killed the cat. I'd have to.
Yeah, I think so.
Be confronting. Oof.
So Scudder meets TJ at the library, and supper follows. So I'm adding in a couple of scenes. So reminded me of Batman, the original with Tim Burton. We know how he's kind of with flicking through the old newspaper scroll. Oh, yeah. And I think it happens in 7 as well. There's a library scene in 7. I liked how the kid just thought he was a pedo from the start, but then he's pretty quick to go eat dinner with him. So, all right, TJ.
Free meal's a free meal, I guess.
What did you think of this? And then I got thoughts. I enjoy how TJ and Matt bond over NFL, and I got some NFL thoughts for you.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like libraries, man, like they're just extinct now. Like, I mean, I know they're around, but I haven't been to a library in decades, if I'm being honest. Like, there's no point, I guess, anymore. But it is definitely a cool scene, and a cool location to put in a movie.
You're not a library's target audience. I hate to break it to you.
A library what?
It's target audience, market.
No,
not after you. Yeah.
No. They're not after my free donations of not paying any money for books. Yeah. No, they're not after me.
So Dante Culpepper, I'm not sure why he's so big in this film, but he played one game in 1999. I wasn't sure that his college season didn't seem like he won the championship or anything like that. 11th though selection in the NFL draft for the Vikings. His best year was his second season, which is 2000. So they went 11-5. Looks like he had about 5 good seasons before he got injured. I thought he was awesome, like an awesome quarterback. I was looking at his stats. I was like, oh, he wasn't as good as he thought he was. Postseason stats 2-2, so played 4 games in the postseason. Yeah, as I mentioned, turns out he wasn't that great. But 3rd quarterback selected in the 1999 draft. Did you see or did you know who the other 2 are above him?
Was one of them McNabb?
Yeah, so McNabb selected second.
Tim Couch?
Good job. Yeah, who the fuck is Tim Couch?
He played for the Browns. He was like the first overall. He was
he shit?
He was so bad.
Classic Browns.
I think there was 5 taken that year though.
Yeah, there was a couple others. I didn't. Well, in the first round, I didn't any of them apart from Dante and Donovan
McNabb. Yeah.
Same draft as Champ Bailey, Ricky Williams, Booger McFarlane, Damian Woody, to name a few. Who's your favorite? Let's say early 2000s quarterback. So Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, Peyton Manning, Dante Culpepper, Brett Favre, Vinny Testaverde, Kurt Warner, Jeff Garcia, Rich Gannon, Trent Dilfer, Steve McNair, Troy Aikman, Mark Brunell.
Did you give me Mike Vick?
Nah, is he there then? He's not there then.
I think he comes in like I might be like 07 or something. I probably like Kurt Warner. I just love his backstory. I think he's great. Yeah. But Culpepper, man, I love Dante Culpepper. That is such a sick name. I've used that once when I was younger as like a drop-off name for like dry cleaning and shit. It's so funny. They're like, can you spell it? I couldn't spell it. Yeah, man, he was a cool quarterback. He had one good year that you mentioned there at the Vikings, and then he blew out his knee. And then it's so funny. The Miami Dolphins were choosing between Drew Brees and Dante Culpepper to be their quarterback. They chose Culpepper because they thought a knee wasn't needed for a quarterback to throw the ball, and Drew Brees had blown out his arm, so Drew Brees ended up in New Orleans. And then obviously the rest is history. And Dante Culver was out of the league
Okay.
pretty short after that. So
Yeah, Culpepper, oh, John Lynch, I mean, smashed Drew Brees. I
love John
watched that.
Lynch.
I saw that. All
Love
right,
John Lynch.
so cemetery meeting with Jonas. Bloke was, to me, off center from the start. I was like, case closed, Matt. For it's like the guy threw out the bags thinking it was trash, guilty. I was like, no more to be said.
Yeah, that was cool. I've got this as like a scene, like I call it the third guy, Jonas. Yeah, collecting the body parts in the little lake there, and then going back to him following him home.
Yeah, so TJ follows him home and then talks about how he's been following Matt. And I like how he names, he's like, God, you're alone or whatever. And he names like some of the things he does. And then Matt realizes Jonas is involved because of the location of the house with that photo that he had.
Yeah. And then he goes up there and then busts open the bird prairie room or whatever.
Nah, he goes, so we
Slow
then
down.
go to the
Ooh.
second drug dealer victim. So he finds out that there's three people involved. And I love how he calls out the guy for being a drug dealer. The guy's like, I got a trust fund. It's like, fuck off, mate. And then he finds Jonas's rooftop shack. So I thought it was really cool how they actually show you that Jonas sort of spots him on the roof leading up to it. So you get a little bit of suspense as he's searching the shack.
Mm.
Um, Jonas isn't allowed birds at his building. What the fuck? Like, all right, mate. Um, the suspense one isn't going to happen. And then Jonas has got the knife and he's like, hey, like, if you come out with me the knife, I'll cut you. And he's like, you could do that? He's like, yeah. And he's like, so he drops the knife.
I'd feel bad later.
I enjoy how Jonas is like, ask him what gave him away. And he's like, because you're a weirdo, Jonas.
Love it.
And then when Jonas is talking about how he met the two blokes at the movie store, and he's like, yeah, they took me out for drinks. Imagine taking Jonas out for drinks. So what are those guys? What I want to know, I want a scene where they're at the bar and they're having a chat. That's what was missing from this movie. I want the three of them having a drink and just chatting about life.
Yeah.
And then he kills himself, which is pretty brutal.
Awesome.
Didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming too. I'm just like, oh shit. He just like jumps off the building. I'm like, wow, man, that was cool. Yeah, really cool.
And then you get the abduction scene. Which nipple are you losing? And then Jonas just like runs away from the van.
And then the killers are just like, all right, cool. I'll never see him again. All good. I don't need to tie up that loose end.
So my next one, it's not a very big scene, but I've just got so many questions from this scene. So breakfast with the psychos. Oh, and then into stalking their prey. So what's his name? Ray's baking scones for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then he, just like, what's going on? And then when there's any thoughts on just that?
Underwear and shit, and he's like, grabbing this guy's like, ooh, hot.
Yeah.
Like putting up the plates and stuff.
And then he's like reading the Y2K. People have got bigger things to worry about. I was like, yeah, they fucking do. People like you running around.
100%.
I like how they realize that it's the maid. So like, there's probably no money for the maid when they're stalking the family. And then great scene. They see the daughter in red. Like homage to the Matrix, maybe, but the same year. Oh no, 99 was the year of the Matrix, and 2014 is this. Then the song Atlanta drops in the slow mo. This is just like French kiss. Your music turns eerie as well, as then you kind of see the car mirror and then Harbor's face in the mirror. Just like a fantastic sequence.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. Like, yeah, I had that scene down as well. Harbor's like stalking the house and then he sees the bedridden target and he's like, oh man, this whole thing's been a waste of time. And just when he's taking off, like, the perfect kill in a red coat, as like, and as slow-mo, like it would be in real life, like, him just seeing the perfect kill, slowly walk past and give him a little wave and stuff. And you could just see that, like, he just can't wait to take this one out. So yeah, that was a very cool scene.
Another scene, so Peter turns up to AA. So I slipped. It happens. I just Liam Neeson half listening to him and his story. Like, more interested in the dodgy van that's following him. I just enjoy just Liam Neeson just doesn't give a shit about him in this scene.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good.
Really good scene, which probably I don't understand where Liam comes from and why it's in the scene, as you kind of said, a little bit confused. But TJ gets a gun. So stoles it from a stash gun. I'm like, what an idiot! Like, isn't he meant to have street smarts? I enjoy how he holds the gun sideways, and then when he's like, shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah, that is like a really good quote. He's like, all right, now cock it and then rub it and make love to it or whatever. And he's like, no, shoot yourself in the head. Yeah, it's very funny. And to your point, yeah, he's street smart. It's like if he sees the stash, just walk away, man. You know people are going to be looking for that.
Yeah. So next scene, Pete's apartment. So when he's just about to hit his score, and then he turns on the light. I'm admiring your wallpaper. He's like, I wanted it to be a surprise for Kenny. No. I thought this was his best scene, and like he played the junkie best in this scene. 2 questions for you, Brad. Would you ever snitch on me? So just a simple yes or no. And do you think he enjoyed himself looking at those photos?
No and yes. So no, I wouldn't snitch on you, and yes, he definitely enjoyed himself to those photos.
TJ gets beaten up into the hospital scene. So I thought if you didn't have insurance, like the hospitals don't look after you. Like why? Oh, whenever he gets a little bit flustered, he comes in and sees us. I'm like, is he allowed to do that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, from what I've seen in American film, if you don't have insurance, you don't get admitted. So yeah.
TJ's mum leaving him when he's 11 is pretty brutal. And then when he explains it, he runs into her every now and then. Like, what?
Yeah.
So how old is TJ? So he says he's 11 when his mum leaves. How old do you reckon he is?
Definitely less than 16. I reckon he's like 15 or something like that. That's what I think. Yeah. I really enjoyed this. I call this scene like the backstory reveal. So this is where you find out about TJ, but then you also find out about Scudder, how he when he was drunk and killing those guys, he accidentally shot the little girl in the head, like in the eye, from a ricochet bullet. Like he didn't shoot her, the bullet ricocheted and killed her. But man, that was that was cool learning about both their sad stories.
So I'm just I enjoyed that you said head the first time, because when he explains that the bullet took a bad hop and caught her in the eye, I'm like, that's a headshot, brother. Like,
yeah.
You get point. What is it? Call of Duty. You get 4 points or 5 points. That's a headshot.
Yeah. Make a little special sound too. Ding.
Yeah. And like he keeps saying, I got fired. I retired. Did you? Daughter is kidnapped, so Harbour staring the mum in the face is just fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's good.
He's kidnapping the daughter. Yuri's house, as I mentioned earlier, really enjoy Yuri, but he's a bit of a helpless drug dealer. My favourite line in this Yuri house scene, do these bastards want cocaine? Where he's like, I can get them cocaine. How much cocaine do they want?
So they wanted millions of dollars of cocaine. Yeah. I've got it in the house. Yeah.
But like, why are all these guys hustling? Like, yeah, I know that they're always like, I don't have any money, but I thought drug dealers do have money.
Yeah, I thought they did too, which is probably the whole premise of the boyfriends trying to extort money from these guys, because they've got the money and they probably won't ask questions, or they won't get the police involved as well. So
felt that Liam was having a lot of fun in this scene, the cat and mouse on the phone calls.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
You definitely need a negotiator in these circumstances, and just even like getting the proof of life and things like that. Like I could watch Liam and Harbour just having this back and forth for hours.
Yeah, I could too, and it's great. And you mentioned Proof of Life. I thought of the movie Proof of Life, with that whole negotiation scenes and things like that. So yeah, it was very cool.
The money drop planning. So at first I was like, oh, TJ's there. And I was like, actually, fair point, because I wouldn't also give that bag to the junkie either if he turned up. I love how he's on the phone as well. Like Ray's on the phone in the laundromat. Just that back shot of him is just the wide shot of the laundromat is probably my favorite just single frame shot.
Mm.
And I enjoy how like Liam and Harbour, they're kind of going back and forth of who holds the cards, because one of them's got the kids, the other one's like, I know what you look like, Ray. Um,
It's very cool. And then he's like, oh, but how do I know I can trust you? He's like, well, I'm carrying 2 bags. Like, I can't shoot you. And he's like, and you've got that knife you keep talking about. Like, yeah, man, it was very cool exchange.
yeah,
Like trying to convince each other
yeah.
of what's going to happen.
I got some thoughts on the gang or group deciding on Pete getting the rifle, but we'll save that for
I've got
another.
something on that too. So yeah.
So graveyard exchange. So I like that he gets his cape or his jacket with the bullet holes in for this scene.
Yeah.
Um, the narration of the 12 steps over the top, like getting permission or cleansing yourself or whatever. I quite enjoy that. The exchange itself is pretty cool. Like they're both, it's just a good scene. So the daughter, did she just lose her pinkies or did she lose 2 fingers?
I think she lost 2, the pinky and the wedding finger. Yeah.
Okay. And okay, yeah, that's pretty tough. But like, surely the drug dealers would then come after them was what I was thinking. I was like, you can't do that. But shootouts in cemeteries always worked for me. And even the car driving away in the cemetery. But what are your thoughts on the graveyard exchange?
Yeah, I love it. You mentioned the AA steps. I love like that voiceover of the AA steps as each sort of mini scene, I'm gonna call it, like happens. I got girl with the dragon tattoo vibes, when he's like reading about the murders and like the person's like narrating like the Bible verses and stuff like that. Kind of got that same kind of vibe from this one, where like, it's like a repenting part, and then the guy's like apologizing, saying that I love you. And he's trying to say I love your wife, but he's like, I love you too, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's very cool. I really love the narration in it. I thought it was really cool.
And then finally, showdown at the Psycho Lovers. So this is from basically when they get to the house to the end. I thought the boyfriend heard TJ on the phone, but I don't know. I was like, oh, so something's going to happen to this. Nothing happened. It didn't bother me, but I was just like, oh, that was weird. Very much enjoyed that the boyfriend didn't really have much time for Harbour once he'd been shot. Like, just takes a peep, helping him down the stairs, and then just kills he kills him. Um, I enjoyed Kenny in this scene when he's down in the basement, sort of looking at all the weapons. But I was also like, just kill him, man. So the boyfriend gets out, kills Kenny. So going back to your Copland reference, how's Kenny? How's Liam or Matt's ears after just shooting the gun behind his head?
Yeah, you're right.
Surely he's deaf in one ear.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I guess it's better than being strangled to death like by that wire. It's always a gruesome way to go, I think, in these movies. But yeah, man, it was very cool. I like the procrastinating about killing the second guy, going down, seeing Arbor, looking at the weapons and stuff like that, and the other guy escaping, only to kill Kenny for then Scudder to come back and like finish them off and everything. Yeah, it was very cool. I got a comment on it as well a bit later on too, but yeah, I thought overall it was very cool.
Any other scenes you want to talk about?
No, you nailed all the scenes that I was going to bring up, so I guess we'll get straight into the Hans Gruber. What was your Hans Gruber, Jez?
So I had all the times Harbour and Liam are negotiating on the phone. Like I couldn't stop watching that, but the exchange scene is probably the best sequence. But from when they turn up to Yuri's house to the end of the movie is great.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. I didn't appreciate the Harbour and Neeson exchange as maybe as much as I should have, because now that you're talking about it on reflection, I do quite like that. But I had I thought it's sort of 2-in-1 if I'm allowed it, but it's the backstory reveal slash the shootout at the start of the movie. So it's a shootout followed by, him like working out why he quit the police force, which was the backstory reveal of, accidentally killing the girl. So yeah, I thought that was really sick. And like I mentioned, like, just the sound, like the bullets, the recoil, the casings hitting the floor, the bullet through the coat and stuff. Yeah, man, it was very cool.
Best quote.
There's a few. You've mentioned a couple of them when Jonas was like, what gave me away, and he goes, everything. You're a weirdo, Jonas. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Um, Matt Scudder, like in typical Liam Neeson voice, like, I do favors for people, and in return they give me gifts. So what can I do for you? I thought that was very cool too. But the exchange between Scudder and TJ when he's like, my ex-wife was vegetarian. He's like, what, was she a clocker? And why'd she split and stuff? And he starts talking like all this slang and slack. And Scudder just goes, can't you speak English? So that was my favorite.
I had I've got probably two, but I'll name three. So, TJ talking to Matt when he's like, fucking Amish have more flavor than you, Matthew.
Yes, you're right.
When he's like, this Matthew, I can't remember who he's talking to, but he's like, I wasn't brave. I was just drunk. I was like, and then, I think this quote's right. I didn't double check, but, when he's on the phone to Ray and they're talking about the dog being put down, and Ray says, if you're going to kill someone, you should have the courage to say what you're doing. I was like, oh, that's pretty good, because he's like, why do we say put down?
Yeah. That's cool. Man, yeah, you got a couple that I missed, hey. The Amish one, that's so funny. The Amish got more flavor than you.
Best song or score?
You mentioned it already. It's Atlantis by Donovan. That's the song when the girl with the red coat walks past, man. That was so good.
I had Black Hole. It is great. I had Black Hole Sun cover it at the end credits, but I probably would have preferred the original.
Yeah, I like Black Hole Sun. That's good.
Any pre-2000s, so 99's good for this.
Well, yeah, there was a lot. Landline phones. You already mentioned, you took away my favorite one, which is the library. Like, when's the last time you actually went to the library? Because I admit it, it's been decades for me.
Yeah, look, unless we're counting like overseas tourism, then I don't know.
Yeah. And then Y2K is my favorite. I love Y2K. It was such a big thing that turned out to be nothing. It was so funny. So
yeah, I had Y2K Fears Propaganda, and then the CD Walkman that Pete has.
oh, nice. That's good.
Benjamin Button Brad, what's aged the best?
I had flashbacks. Man, I'm such a sucker for flashbacks. Like, they never not work for me. So you got the backstory reveal, Kenny trying to get back his wife, Jonas cleaning the pond. Like you mentioned, Jonas having a beer with the two killers, the killer flashbacks when they're killing people and stuff like that. Man, flashbacks, I just love it. It's so me. And, I think this works so well in this movie.
Yeah, flashbacks are good. I had, the storyline of kidnapping drug dealers' partners for ransom so they can't go to the cops or things like that. Just a cool sort of premise. Getting proof of life, always great. As you mentioned, the movie, Proof of Life. Coffees anytime at a diner, like dinner, they're always drinking coffee. It's great. I don't understand it, but it's awesome. And then counterfeit money for a ransom exchange. I thought was pretty clever and pretty cool.
That's really good. I like that.
What's aged the worst for you?
I had irrelevant information. So the kid had, is it sickles or sicklies or something like that? Like the disease, but nothing happened directly related to it. Like, I was waiting for him to have an attack in the rain at the killer's, like when, at the killer's place, and then he was going to get caught by the killers or something because he was having a seizure or a fit or something outside. Like, it had nothing to do with anything, and like they didn't need to add it. And then also the brother loved the wife. Okay, so what? Like, nothing eventuated from it. Like, it's just information that I found was irrelevant. So we were talking about it before, like, there were parts that like it felt like, oh, there's a scene here, but it's got nothing to do with any other scene. Maybe they're editing, maybe they'd cut it and they didn't cut it right, or they didn't get the story right, or there's meant to be something more to the story. But yeah, there was just a couple of things. I'm like, do I need to know this? Like, you're so good at the start there telling me that, within 24 hours, the wife's been kidnapped, they paid the ransom and she's dead. Like, that's perfect, like, information. And then they're like got all these little side plots that have got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, the whole brother, girlfriend, the wife thing, I So when he left and he's like, "Are you going to tell him?" And he's like, "You whatever," or like I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, "No, like you need to tell him whatever." I was like, oh, "Hang on, so did he was the wife and the brother trying to get Kenny killed or something like?" I was like, "Hang on, did I miss something here?" But then it's just no, he's just in love with her. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. It's just like nothing. Okay.
Any other what's aged the worst?
No, that was my biggest sort of. I was just stuck in my head so much. I'm like, why am I knowing this? So yeah.
So I wrote this one down in the first like 3 minutes of the movie, running down the street shooting at people. When he's sprinting and he's just firing, I was like, you can't do that. White cops getting off killing civilians. So he shoots a kid in the face and he tells everyone that he quits. Like, does he get his pension, Brad?
Yeah, of course he does. He's white.
Naked portraits of your loved ones out on display.
Oh,
here's a good one for you. This is for all your environmental folks, throwing rubbers into a pond. When Jonas says that. I mentioned this earlier, but running into your mum after she abandoned you on the streets must be pretty tough. And then drug dealers, like, can we be a little bit tougher on the phone when you're talking to people that have kidnapped your kids? Like, God damn it, Yuri. Brad, who are you having a beer with?
They're all very good. I had Drunk Scudder. The dude could handle his booze and take down 3 criminals. How good. So, Drunk Scudder. Have morning coffee, and a couple of shots. Sounds good.
So, Brad, as you know, I don't drink coffee, but I'll have a morning cup of Joe with Matt Scudder any day of the week.
You had Scudder as well?
Yeah. If you're getting 2 shots or whatever, Yuri a close second. I think Yuri would be good.
Yeah. Yuri's grown on me since you mentioned him so much.
He's so great. Go back and watch him. He's awesome. I hope Yuri paid him like a lot of money. Anyway, Coaster, what is it? Goat Cast. So who was in the running? So as I mentioned earlier, Harrison Ford was attached. Did you see anyone else in the running?
No, not really. I know Harbour was directly approached, so that was a good decision there. But no one really else I saw was approached.
Are you replacing any of the cast?
Mate, you planted the seed ever since you said oh my God, forgot his name again. Who was it? The wrestler.
Oh, Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Ever since you mentioned Mickey Rourke as the husband, that would have been good. I would have liked to have seen that. So yeah, I'll take that.
I've got one for you. Pete Davidson as the junkie. So I think he could have good job. Potentially a little bit too young. He's 20 in 2014, but he's from New York. Pete Davidson, the comedian, Saturday Night Live. He was dating Kim Kardashian.
Okay, yeah. That would have been good too.
He's a pretty good actor. I like Pete Davidson. Brad, here you go. Hardest question we've ever had. What character could Bruce Campbell have played?
Yeah, this is the toughest it's ever been for me. I had him as the second gardener at the graveyard, the one that quit. So Matt Scudder's interviewing him, and he's like, "What can you tell me about the body you found? Did you see anything?" And then Campbell goes, "I didn't see nothing but Jack and shit. Let me tell you, Jack left town."
Nice. I had the bartender at the start. So the 2 thugs walk in. "Ladies, back again? Fucking get out of here. Both of you. I told you last night." Bang.
Nice. That's good.
Porn title. Brad, did you have a porn title?
I did. I had a wank before a tombstone. So, move over 69. Now all the rage is the WWE inspired Undertaker move. That is the tombstone. So the genitals are closer, the bodies are closer, and the sex is more intimate. People say it's a real knockout.
That is actually very, very good.
The tombstone move?
Yeah, I did. My one was wanking amongst the tombstones, but I didn't have a synopsis because it was just, I wrote a couple of them and I was like, this is, no, I can't do that.
Imagine that, you're walking around tombstones and there's some pervert just...
Yeah. The old outdoor wanker.
Yeah.
Best outfit or prop, Brad?
Oh, you go first because I reckon I've nailed this one.
So I did see a Backstreet Boys poster in the kids' room, which was pretty good. The dog collar, the real drug dealing looking dog collar, I thought could have been good. I went with Liam's pinky ring.
Oh, that's nice. I had Scudder's notebook. You know, the one he's always like writing all the clues and stuff in?
Ah, well done. Okay, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah.
Um, Frederick Zula, Brad, best performance on or off the screen?
Oh, there's only one answer for me. I think it's David Arbor. He was sick in this. He was perfect. I love him. This is some of the best I've ever seen him in.
Ah, I didn't actually even think of him at all, but yeah, that's actually, I'm kicking myself. I didn't think of him. So I had Liam followed by Yuri.
Yeah. You, they need to do it. You know what? I'll wait till
Yeah.
we get to the sequel and we'll get the Yuri sequel.
So, Brad, what happens after the credits stop? Before you answer that, or maybe this is part of your answer, does Matt get paid? Does Yuri gives him some money? Who gives him some money?
Yeah, I guess Yuri would give him some money. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he lost all the money with Kenny, because Kenny's dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
what?
Yuri's probably only going to give him 2/5 of the money because that's how many fingers he sort of came back with.
He's like, hey, Matt, do you guys like cocaine?
What happened after the credits stop? I had Scudder, now fully verified as a PI, finally gets his license, and I had TJ gets killed in a drive-by.
Okay. I had, hopefully the cops have some sort of involvement or know that this shit's been going on. TJ moves into Kenny's house and starts a PA website, not an app because it's not around yet, with his internet skills, which makes Matt and him eventually multimillionaires. Yuri gets his drug syndicate together and buys the New York Nets, known back then,
Nice.
for just over 150 mil, which was a going rate. And his daughter becomes the heir apparent to running the organization, and they win a lot of NBA titles.
Nice. I like that.
Theory corner, Brad. Any theories?
Oh, I do. You did mention something that might have cancelled out this theory, but could you have done this movie without Liam Neeson? So could you have done this with like Matt Damon or like Daniel Craig or someone like that? Like, does it have to be Liam Neeson?
No, but the person would have to have a pretty big presence.
Yeah, that's what you said. Like, you said that this movie already made money before they even came out in the cinemas because everyone was keen to see it because of Liam Neeson. So,
Yeah. Who did
yeah.
you just want you need an A-list star, like someone that's hot, but also I think someone that's big, like hot in the market. And
Yeah,
then
he
just they need
was
to be
pretty big at
big,
this time. Yeah, he
but
was
like
pretty big.
big, like just a big frame as well.
Mm-hmm.
My theory, which I think you might like, so based on the country's population, do you feel that the Irish have produced the best leading men of all time? Or maybe let's just say this century, but I'm going to start with all time. So the population or the total population of Ireland is approximately, and that's the total both islands, so the island of Ireland.
Ireland and Northern Ireland, yeah.
Yep, is 7.2 million. So I'll name some
Ooh.
actors for you. So the GOAT, Daniel Day-Lewis, 3-time Oscar winner, only male to do so. Peter O'Toole, 8-time Oscar nominations without a win. Cillian Murphy, 1-time Oscar winner. Then some nomination guys, Liam Neeson, Brendan Gleeson. Did Richard Harris win an Oscar? And then Colin Farrell. And then some more people for you. Pierce Brosnan, Michael Fassbender. We're stretching a little bit here, but Gabriel Byrne, Kenneth Branagh.
Man, I do like Gabriel Byrne, and I do like Fassbender, and Pierce Brosnan, I think, is the best Gen.
I knew you'd love Pierce Brosnan.
I love Pierce Brosnan. Man, as soon as you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, I thought Australia would have the best because, I thought we've punched above our weight pretty hard. But because they've only got 7 million compared to our, almost 30 or whatever, maybe it is the Irish. The luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure
That's a
either.
really good theory.
Because US would be knocked out because it's just too big.
Well, because it's all US based, so it's got to be someone other than US.
Look, it'd be English or Irish, so maybe the Irish do.
I reckon Australia better than England.
You
do? You reckon? Yeah.
Maybe per capita. How many people? They've got, there's 60 million? Yeah, but I don't know.
Who's the best English actor? I thought it was Pierce Brosnan and Michael Fassbender, but they're both Irish. So.
Well, I started watching Mobland and I was like, oh, Pierce's Irish accent's kind of shit. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, I have to watch the next episode. I'll come back to you on who's the best English actor.
Maybe, what's the guy who's in like...
I know, my baby boy, Tom Hardy. but there'll be someone better.
What about the guy that's in Fifth Element, and he's like he's Gordon
Oh
in
yeah,
all the new
Gary
Batmans?
Oldman. Yeah,
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 Gary
Gary
Oldman. Yeah,
Oldman.
yeah,
There you
he's
go.
good.
Well, he's
Yeah,
the best one of our generation, maybe.
yeah,
Someone send us an email. Let us know.
yeah.
Don Toretto, Brad, what's your life lesson from the movie?
I had quick decisions are key. So Scudder killing people at the start, shoot first and ask questions later worked. Kenny taking his sweet time to kill the killers at the end, being a bit too slow and got himself killed. So that's one. I did have another one, which is put your phone on silent, like the killers could have hurt TJ in the van. But quick decisions are key.
I had, if you're in a drug syndicate, make sure you have a fixer.
Love it.
All right, I'm going to clear out for you. Airing of grievances, shoot.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, are these drug dealers, are these the best people that they've got in their payroll? Like you've got, Kenny, who's gonna have a junkie with a rifle at the backup or the exchange, like as your backup. The Russian mobster, the best he could offer was a nearsighted shooter. I don't know, like
Yeah, actually,
I'm
what
not.
happened to the guy at the that walks him in? He's like, "Thanks, darling. Like, go back outside." Like, where the fuck's that guy?
I know, but I mean, like if you're a mob star or whatever, and you've got these killers on your payroll, I mean, if I own a telephone company, I'm not hiring a deaf person to answer the phone. Like, you know what I mean? You need certain skill sets to do certain jobs. So, yeah, I don't know if a junkie's your best exchange is your best backup for Kenny, and I don't know if a nearsighted shooter is your best backup there for Yuri. So, I had that one. The other one I had was, I know that you are targeting drug dealers because they can afford to pay their ransom and then they're probably not going to call the cops. But, just keep in mind that they've also got the resources to track you down and kill you with street vengeance. You're not going to end up in jail. They're going to execute you or chop you up. So,
well, that's like when they cut the daughter's fingers. I'm like, why? Like, they're now just going to come after you. Like, if you was going to let you go, but great, Brad. Any others?
No, they're the two I had.
Okay, so this one, potentially, though, answered it with my own thoughts during the week, but calling the business registry to get confirmation of the plumbing company, it was after the AA meeting. So, like, surely that's 8 p.m. at night. So, like, or 8 p.m. at the earliest. Like, no way that they're open. But then I thought, okay, maybe he's in New York and maybe the company's in LA. So that's like a 5-hour difference.
Yeah,
But that's
true.
the only explanation. I don't. But it's specifically for New. Oh, I don't know if it is a New York
but
plumber,
it's also,
I don't know.
no, yeah, because he's asking to check the boroughs. And then also, this is 1999. It's not like people have got mobile phones diverted to their businesses and stuff. Yeah. This is back when they had landlines, so you're right.
It's not like you're calling the Philippine bloody call center. So, yeah. All right. Surely the lads are killing Jonas once he runs away when they're killing the chick in the van.
Yeah. They definitely are.
I'd be like, that guy's a snitch.
Yeah.
Letting the junkie be the rifleman, like, can you give me an argument for? Just give me one argument for. Who, TJ says the guy's high as a kite. I wasn't going to give him the box.
No, I know, right? I'd rather TJ or Kenny take the rifle and give them a crack shot. Yeah.
And then speaking of TJ, this is the last one. When I watched it the first time, I was like, what the fuck? No way. TJ being there at the end when they walk into the house and they like handcuff the boyfriend. Like, put him in a cab. At the very end, when they go into the lover's house, TJ walks in with them.
Oh, he walks in with them. Okay. Yeah.
No,
you put him in the cab
Jose.
then.
Yeah. And then after that, I only thought of this just as we were doing the pod. But this is why maybe Matt doesn't have any money, is he put TJ in a cab and then he catches the subway home.
Got time to mull over
what
just
happened.
Fuck,
man, you just got beaten up, almost killed.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a cab home as well. All right, letterbox rating, Brad. What's your letterbox?
I had 3.5 stars out of 5. I had criminally good.
I had 3 stars, enjoyable. But like I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. I think when I first saw it, I really, really loved it. But I think there's probably movies that do it better, like Seven, like Silence of the Lambs and things like that. But shout out to Kays, our mom. I got her onto this, and she loves this movie. So.
Yeah, I asked her for some thoughts on it. And she's like, I'll have to rewatch it. And so I was like, okay, that's
Oh, catch you on the
helpful.
next one,
That's
Mum.
why. Yeah, that's why I didn't bring her up. Shout out. Thanks for listening, Mel. Um, I enjoy, the opening scene, then from when they go to Yuri's house to the end, and then there's a couple of scenes in between, like when he's with what's his name, Jonas on the
Jonas,
roof
yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm pairing this movie with Seven, another noir detective movie. Very like similar elements to it as well. Any movies you're pairing it with?
Yeah, I think if you want that crime thriller, I think you go with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Like I got like some vibes and everything from that kind of movie. Otherwise, if you want a Neeson thriller, I'd go with Unknown.
Any other thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, I think like, we always talk about our sort of rewatchability factor. I mean, I know we gave the movie a modest rating. I still would have liked to have seen a sequel, kind of like a Jack Reacher franchise, like another murder mystery case, I think would have been cool. I think Frank and Neeson had hoped for future adaptations at the time, but sadly no more films were made. But I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I think he could have sequeled or franchised this one potentially.
Well, wasn't it like one of 13 books? So
Yeah,
there are more books that they could adapt it from. Yeah, I don't know. Surprised why, especially as we said that they made money before they even started shooting a scene. So,
yeah.
yeah, don't know.
I think of I don't know if you've seen the movie The Snowman with Michael Fassbender, but that was like a series of books too. But they absolutely stuffed that movie up that they didn't make anymore. Whereas this one was a success, modestly so. But I feel like they could have made more.
Brad, what's the morning headline after State of Origin?
Queensland do it again. Yeah, I don't think they're getting up. The Blues aren't getting up.
Laurie Gonski.
Oh, that's a good one.
So that will do us for tonight. Next time or next episode, where Brad, you don't know this because I'm going overseas and we're coming back, so we're going to do a shorter one. We're doing 1952, taking everyone back into the archives. Stanley Kubrick's Fear and Desire, a war movie, Brad. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. A bit of fear and desire in this movie, a little bit of fear and desire in the next one, hopefully too. But happy trails. Well, not happy trails. Safe travels, Jeremy. Enjoy your well-earned break, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys when you get back.
Go the Blues.
Up the Blues, cattle dog.